good morning to you. This is Transition News on Atlantic Television Network. Rivers State House of Assembly at its 78th legislative sitting of the second session of the 10th Assembly debated on a motion and resolved to commend President Bola Tinubu for revitalizing the Port Harcourt refinery. President Bola Tinubu, the honorable member representing LMA constituency, Honorable Igwe Afoji, applauded President Tinubu for his uncommon leadership in providing the logistically support for the resuscitation and revitalization of the Port Harcourt refinery. Members in their debate expressed optimism that the coming back on a stream of the refinery would also reanimate small-scale businesses in the area. Supporting the motion, members urged the House to resolve as prayed by the mover of the motion. Commenting on the motion, the Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Martin, applauded President Tinubu's leadership style, adding that reviving a refinery that has been in comatose for decades speaks volume of Mr. President's commitment to energy sufficiency in the country. In line with the prayers of the motion, the House resolved to commend President Bola, the federal government and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to redouble efforts in tackling energy inadequacy by resuscitating the Kaduna refineries. Edo State government has approved the dissolution of all commissions in the state's public service. Secretary to the state government, Umar Ikolo, who disclosed this in a statement, urged all chairmen and members of the commissions to hand over all government properties in their possession to the most senior public officer in their commission. The commissions include the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission, the Civil Service Commission, Edo State Oil and Gas Producing Areas Development Commission, Edo State Forestry Commission, the House of Assembly Service Commission, the State Audit Service Commission, and the Judicial Service Commission. The statement stated that all chairmen and members of the commissions are advised to hand over all government properties in their possession to the most senior public officer in their commission. Edo State House of Assembly has suspended the chairman and vice chairman of the 18 local government areas in the state for 2 months, citing alleged gross misconduct and insubordination. The Assembly directed the council leaders to hand over administration to the legislative leaders of their respective local governments. This decision followed a letter from Governor Senator Monday Okpebolo accusing the council leaders of insubordination after they failed to submit financial reports from September 23, 2022 to date as directed. The governor's directive, however, was reportedly resisted by the council leaders, who cited their financial autonomy as upheld by the Supreme Court. During the plenary presided over by Speaker Right Honorable Blessing Abebaku, the Assembly adopted a motion for the suspension of the council officials. The motion was moved by Honorable Isibo Ade of the Eastern Northeast One and seconded by Honorable Donald Okobe of Akoko Edo 2. The governor's petition dated December 16th and titled Insubordination and Gross Misconduct by the 18 local government chairmen over their refusal to submit financial records for scrutiny, prompted the Assembly to act under Section 20 subsection B of the Local Government Act, which empowers the House to suspend local government officials for 2 months pending investigation. The motion sparked a heated debate in the Assembly, leading to a rowdy session. Out of 24 members, 14 supported the suspension, 6 opposed it, and 3 remained undecided. Majority Leader Honorable Charity Ayewobahugia cautioned against the suspension, urging the Assembly to grant the chairman a fair hearing by inviting them to defend their allegations before the Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Delta State House of Assembly has recalled two suspended members, the representative of Ukwani constituency, Chukwudi Dafe, and the lawmaker from Bomadi constituency, Obori Preyo. The Speaker, Emomotimi Guo, announced the lifting of the suspension at the plenary. This followed the expiration of the 14 legislative days of day suspension slammed on them by the House for alleged gross misconduct. Guo said an investigative committee was set up to look into the allegations. He said though the committee was yet to submit its reports, the legislators were recalled following the expiration of the 14 legislative days. The House then gave leave to the Majority Leader, Emeka Nwobi, to bring in a bill for a law to provide for the establishment of the Delta State Food Security Agency. The Majority Leader, who moved the motion for the bill to be read the first time, was seconded by the member representing Oshimili South, who is Bridget Ayafulu. Enugu's Zonal Directorate of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has taken legal action against two bankers for allegedly selling newly minted 500,000 naira to customers. A statement from EFCC spokesman Dele Oyewale: the defendants were arrested on November 15, 2024 at their workplace on 18 Okpara Avenue, Enugu State, based on actionable intelligence linking them to the sale of naira mints in the Enugu State metropolis. The accused, Ebe Anyoha Okoronkwo and Umonoha Onyiye, were brought before Justice Mohammed Gaba Omar of the Federal High Court sitting in Independence Layout, Enugu State. Oyewale disclosed that the defendants allegedly sold 500,000 naira mints to 200 denominations to one Husseini Ibrahim. Okoronkwo pleaded guilty to the charge, while Oyinye pleaded not guilty. In response, the EFCC's counsel and Chief Superintendent Rotimi Ajobiwe requested a short date for the courts to review the case concerning the first defendants. CN Agama, the counsel for the second defendant, sought the court's remand. In his ruling, Justice Umar adjourned the matter to January 15, 2025 for the hearing of the bail application for Onyinye and the sentencing of Okoronkwo. Governor Nwifuru, in a statement signed by his chief press secretary Monday Uzo and obtained by newsmen on Tuesday, reiterated that the disputed land remains a buffer zone. He warned that the state government will take over the land if the communities fail to reconcile within the next 2 weeks. The state government will take over the land. Governor Nwifuru also constituted a committee to visit the boundary and work out modalities for a peaceful resolution of the crisis. Recall that on Friday last week, Governor Francis Nwifuru declared the disputed Elueke land a buffer zone following renewed clashes between the Umuoba Akeze and Ogwo Ishiago communities in the Oivo local government area of Ebonyi State. Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Solodo has offered amnesty to criminals in the state, declaring that they have until the end of February 2025 to lay down their arms. The governor also announced plans to launch a joint security operation to tackle insecurity in the state. Soludo said the operation is condemned Operation Udogachi, which means let peace reign. The governor, who briefed journalists at the Anambra State Governor's Lodge, said his government has identified armed robbery, kidnapping, cultism, and touting as the principal problems causing insecurity in the state. Speaking on the continuous incarceration of separatist leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the fact that many of the criminals hide under the cover of his detention to perpetrate crime, Soludo insisted that indications have shown that what is happening is organized criminal enterprise and has nothing to do with Kanu's detention. The governor said henceforth his government will begin to revoke lands of any community who harbor criminals. He added that members of such communities who give food or contribute money to take them in the bush will be treated as collaborators. Tragedy struck when a truck crushed an unidentified pedestrian to death at the Iyana Isha Youthon in Ward Mile 2, Lagos State. This incident comes less than 24 hours after a similar tragedy at Ilubirin in Ward Surah along the Lagos State mainland bridge. The latest accident, involving a fully loaded Howo tipper with an unknown registration number, occurred at approximately 11 a.m. Lagos State Traffic Management Authority LATMA General Manager Olalekan Bakere-Oki revealed that the truck suffered a catastrophic brake failure while navigating through traffic at high speed. This led to a complete loss of control. He commended the collaborative efforts of FRSC and LATMA officials who managed the incident effectively, while officers from the EHCL Police Division provided security reinforcement for the ongoing rescue operation. Bakere-Oki, while offering condolences to the bereaved family, emphasized the importance of safety consciousness among motorists and strict adherence to traffic regulations to prevent such avoidable tragedies. May their soul rest in peace. National Emergency Management Agency says a total of 49 persons have been rescued and 3 dead bodies recovered so far from the boat accident that occurred along River Benue in Agata local government area of Benue State. A statement by the agency said the accident involved 76 passengers in the boats, as the driver, unaware of a submerged tree in the river, accidentally navigated into it, causing it to tip off and capsize. The agency said it was working with the Benue State Emergency Management Agency and other stakeholders, including the local authorities and divers, to expedite the ongoing search and rescue operations for the remaining missing passengers. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Governors Forum has commiserated with the people and governments of Benue State on the death of 20 people in the weekend's boat accident. The NGF also commended the emergency responders for rescuing 11 of the travelers. Kaduna State Governor Senator Uba Sani has reinstated ownership of 2 properties previously revoked from the family of the late military dictator General Sani Abacha during the administration of his predecessor Nasir El-Rufai. The properties located at number 9 Abaka GRA and number 1 Dege Road, Ungwan Rimi GRA in Kaduna had been seized in 2022 following allegations of breaches of occupancy terms under the Land Use Act. The Abacha family lawyer Ruben Atabo, senior advocate of Nigeria, who publicized a newspaper on April 28, 2022, included the late Abacha's name as item 34 among those affected. He said the move has caused embarrassment to the Abacha family, prompting legal action against the state government, while Governor Sani however reversed the revocation in 2 separate letters dated December 10, 2024 through the Kaduna Geographic Information Service and signed by Mustafa Haruna on behalf of the Director General of KADGIS, directed the family to settle outstanding fees and charges as a condition for reinstatement. Air components of Operation Hadin Kai successfully executed a series of airstrikes against Islamic State's West African province terrorists in the Malam Fatori area of Borno State. The attack led to the death of several ISWAP terrorists. Security analyst and counterinsurgency expert in Lake Chad, Zagazola Makama, said a significant gathering of ISWAP militants were identified around Malam Fatori. The publication said the operation resulted in the death of numerous ISWAP militants, with estimates suggesting that the casualty count may be in the dozens. Makama added that the airstrikes in Malam Fatori were not just a standalone effort, but they were part of a broader strategy in Operation Hadin Kai aimed at restoring security in northeastern Nigeria. Jigawa government says it has uncovered 6,348 ghost workers in its staff verification exercise in the state. Mr. Sagi Musa, Commissioner for Information, Youth, Sports and Culture, said this in a statement in Dusche. He said the reports of the statewide staff audit biometric data capture and validation exercise showed that 6,348 ghost workers had been detected and saved over 314 million naira monthly. Musa said the State Executive Council, this, he said, would fast-track completion of the data capture and validation exercise as part of the integrated payroll and personnel management system. Musa said the council approved contracts for the rehabilitation of roads damaged by floods, including Andaza, Gadewa, Ojara, Unga Ungua, Mani, Koraye, Rural and Sismiya, Lawan, Damin, Litin, Tudu, Imroni, Jingwa, and Birin Kudu local government area of the state. He also said the council also approved 254.8 million naira for the completion of community-based integration into the state's social registrar data management information system. The commissioner said the SEC further endorsed the completion of the recommendations of the Committee for the Retrieval of Farmlands Allocation across the state. You are watching the Transitional Attractive Television Network. We will be back after this break to stay with us. Welcome back. This is Attractive Television Network Transition. Now the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Super Eagles forward Ademola Lookman for winning the 2025 CAF Men's African Footballer of the Year. He also commended Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie for being named the CAF Women's Goalkeeper of the Year and celebrated the Super Falcons for clinching the Women's National Team of the Year award. The honors were announced on Monday night at the Palace des Congrès in Marrakesh, Morocco. In a statement released by presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu joined millions of Nigerians in applauding the athletes for their achievements. He described them as worthy ambassadors who have showcased their talent and brought honor to the country on the continental and global stage. Analyst has urged the federal government to focus more on sophisticated issues. Speaking on Attractive Television Network program Attractive Blowouts, public affairs analyst Eniefa Georgeville said that the level of hunger in the country is more than 2 weeks field train ride.
We are very close to the ordinary people. We will not be in opposition to anything at all, anything that could just come as help. There's hunger in the land.